Good morning, travelers. It is, what is it? Day 3? Day 4? I'm not sure. I'm not awake. I haven't had coffee. Anyway, we're going to Juneau. And I have a shore excursion. It is called the Tracy Arm Fjord and Glacier Explorer. And what it does is it actually meets the ship before we get to Juneau. And we go off and go and explore the glacier in places where, you know, the larger ship can't go. So I'm looking forward to that. I have all my layers. I'm hoping not to freeze to death. I'm hoping not to have any fingers or toes get frostbite. Actually, it's very nice. I was on the balcony just a little bit ago. I'm doing a time lapse of our approach. The captain actually said in his talk yesterday that if we get up early, we would get some really nice scenery in the morning as we go in, and it's gorgeous out there, so I'm running a time lapse. Okay, I need coffee. They just delivered breakfast, and I'm going to be off, and I'll let you know how it goes. This is the lobster eggs Benedict from room service. And I missed it before, but this is the passion fruit yogurt. Looks quite interesting.
America. My friends told me, Drew, be careful when you go on that ship, though. Be careful. They got pickleball on that ship. Yeah. I know what pickleball was at first. I had not. Pickleball sounds like a disease only a man can get. Sound like something a man will call in sick from work with. Listen, I ain't gonna make it into work today. Why? I have pickleball. Yeah, both of them. They swelled up like cantaloupes. Can't even put my trousers on. Yeah, it's pickleball. It's definitely pickleball. Yeah, last year my wife was mad at me for about a week and a half. I ended up with the blue ones, but these are pickles. These ones are pickles.
Hello, fellow travelers. It is day 3. I finally figured it out. We're in Juneau, and it's been a really good day. So the excursion I took, I guess there were about almost 150 of us. We all met in the theater, and then they walked us out to the deck A, which I guess is one below 1. And the ship came and met us there, and just like a tender would, only this was bigger. And then we all got on, and it was 2 stories. By the time I got on, there was already hardly any seating in the bottom story, so I went up to the top and got a seat. And even that wound up being sort of hard because people would move around depending, You couldn't save your seats as well as you might want to. So I sat in, I think, 3 different places. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. But, oh my goodness, it was cold, especially when the boat's moving fast. So if you're going to take this, bring hat, bring gloves, bring jacket and layers, and still you're probably going to have to go out and come back in and warm up and go out, because that's just the way it is. Oh, and sunglasses, because it can be really bright out there too. So yeah, it was beautiful, and people had binoculars, of course, and we're seeing, I'm not sure there was that much wildlife. We did see, I think, 1 or 2 seals. We saw a mountain goat, and we saw the glacier. The glacier was gorgeous. It is the South Sawyer Glacier, and there was a little tiny bit of calving. I'm not sure yet if I caught it on camera, because of course I'd been focused on the glacier the whole time. The 1 minute I look down to focus on the ice, I hear it calving, because you can hear it. It's quite distinctive. Another time I heard it, but I never did see it, so I'm not sure where it was. Might have been somewhere sort of behind the scenes of the main face of the glacier. But yeah, it was just gorgeous. They go really slow once they get into the Tracy Arm. And so you have lots of time to take the pictures you want to take. There was a large waterfall, and he got us really close to it, and then he let one side of the boat take all their pictures, and then he turned the boat and he let the other side take all their pictures, although of course everybody runs to one side and runs together. It's amazing we don't move the ship that much, but apparently we aren't as heavy as we think we are. But yeah, it was really good. And then we did the same thing when we got to the glacier. The Seabourn Odyssey was already there, so you'll see that in the footage. And they had launched Kodiaks with people on them to get really close to the glacier, and that would have been really cool to do. But oh my goodness, can you imagine how cold that is right down there on the water with the ice, because there's a lot of ice in the water. And enough so that we were hitting it, and some of those chunks of ice were big enough to move the whole boat when we hit them. So it's like, really hope you have a really good hull, because these are very large chunks of ice, and the ones that were big enough that we obviously should not hit them, he was very careful to go around, but he went very slowly so that we all got pictures, because they were amazing. So yeah, that was good. I will say he went as slow on the return as he did on the way out. And I think people were kind of bored, part of it. So you get through and you get out and you get into St. Stephen's Passage, and it feels like we're going slow. It may have just been an illusion, but it doesn't feel like we were going as fast as we did when we hurried out to get to the good part, at the start. And of course, the ship was not in the same place. The ship had gone on to Juneau and docked. And so we had a lot further than we had originally to get back to where the ship was. And even though it was docked, he didn't just go up to another dock. He actually went again up to the ship. And we all got off that way again. So that was interesting. So it said that we would be back to the boat at 3:30. We were back to the boat at 3:30, like on the dot. It was kind of impressive. And after that, I was able to come in and put all my stuff down, my filming stuff, and dump all my data. And then I went out to Juneau because, it was probably no later than 4:30 when I got back outside after I'd done all my data transfers so that, God forbid something happens to one of my cameras, I haven't lost all the shots that I've taken. And I wandered around the town of Juneau. I went to the Red Dog Saloon and had some dinner and shopped and, just kind of enjoyed myself. I did want to go to the SeaAlaska, but I didn't make it there in time. They had just closed when I got there, so I didn't know where it was, so I kind of stumbled on it. So that's going to be on my list for the next time I come to Juneau. I want to go there because the lecture yesterday talked about the Institute and what they're doing, and I really wanted to go and see the gallery there, and I'm disappointed that I couldn't find it until after it closed. So it will have to be next time, but I seem to be going to Alaska once a year, so next year. So for this evening, since I've already had dinner, I'm probably going to go and see, there's a couple of game shows, there's a couple of performances, and I will see what mischief I can get into. So Lo Sue signing off.